The chapter I decided to report on was Chapter 9, Cultural Connections. The Deaf Mute was the first paper published by a deaf institution. It launched in 1849 by the North Carolina Institution for the Deaf and Blind. The Deaf Mute was a huge stepping stone for the deaf community to share ideas, and soon after its publication, many other institutions followed suit with their own papers. The trend of publishing papers from the deaf institutions eventually became known as the Little Papers, which kind of outgrew its name after having over 50 different participants. The image is from The Silent Worker, which was from the New Jersey School and among one of the most famous Little Papers. One of the main goals of publishing these papers was to provide vocational training for deaf students. Printing was one of common and important careers for deaf people. More importantly, the Little Papers provided a cultural connection within the deaf community. The importance of written word. Many deaf people still wanted the social connections they had made at school, but still wanted to seek better opportunity. Frequent conventions helped, but newspapers and periodicals were most important. While the Little Papers were ultimately more successful, there were still independent publishings. Along with cultural connections being made through these papers, it also seems they provided sort of cultural guidelines. Cultural guidance. The overall feeling from the deaf community is to not be looked down on. Therefore, in these papers, they would provide sections on correct behavior and other pieces of advice. The column ranged from advice on how to keep friends to warnings on the bad habits of beer and tobacco. However, what a lot of them highlighted was the connection of positive, proper behavior and a successful career. Gossip. Another portion of these papers was the exchange or exchanges section. This section gave updates on deaf people and schools of the area from places all across the U.S. Although some updates seemed plain, it was another connection deaf people could make and more people to show that deaf people can do anything. Controversy. Of course, no newspaper is complete without some controversy. Many deaf editors wanted to use the platform to speak out about deaf issues and injustices, but would risk losing their jobs. The most famous example of this was the Nebraska Journal in 1911 when J.W. Sowell criticized oral methods for deaf education. Then, when a law was passed that mandated oral methods, Sowell had to retreat on his position of oralism to not risk losing his job. After that, oral methods were not written about, and when they were only praised. Overall, the Little Papers made a huge cultural impact in the deaf community. They helped to maintain the culture and the people within it.